It's time for the moment you've been waiting for. Da, 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 Preparing the Krabby Patty!
Spongebob Squarepants, the show that more or less defined the childhoods of countless American teenagers, houses an alarming message about the futility of trying in life. The social structure in Bikini Bottom, especially the one centered around the Krusty Krab and its employees, demonstrates that no matter how hard you try to succeed, you are always held back by those above you in the social structure. Mr. Krabs, a member of Bikini Bottom's social elite and SpongeBob's boss at the Krusty Krab, provides a perfect example of an upper class imposing its hegemonic control over a lower class. Mr. Krabs' wealth comes from his greediness, as can clearly be seen here.
Now, you gonna buy something or just stand there, because there's a stand-in fee? Money, 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 money. 10, 20, 30, 40. Donate to the children's fund? Why? What have children ever done for me?
You've got to let go of the dime.
I can think of 10 good reasons to never let go of a dime, boy.
SpongeBob and Squidward, members of Bikini Bottom's working class and Mr. Krabs' employees, work for low wages and long hours, receiving no benefits from their hard-shelled boss. Mr. Krabs believes that they should work tirelessly to please him and increase his already excessive fortune. He imposes upon them his belief that they should devote their lives to making money for him while expecting little in return.
Mr. Krabs, can I have a raise?
No. Where in the high seas is Squidward?
You gave him the day off.
Day. I don't know the meaning of them horrible words. Mr. Squidward, you're always going on about your book club. Read this.
Do not touch thermostat ever.
It costs money! So, that little piece of flotsam plankton thinks he can stay open longer than me, does he?
Sure. I don't know. Why not?
Well, he's wrong!
Oh, okay, sure.
As of now, the Krusty Krab is open 24 hours!
SpongeBob and Squidward respond to this imposed reality in very different ways. Our squishy yellow protagonist develops an attitude of almost worship towards the Krusty Krab and Krabby Patties. He is perfectly content catering to Mr. Krabs' every whim. He represents a portion of the lower classes that are blissfully unaware of the manipulation being done by the upper class. He carries on day by day, cheerfully flipping burgers. As was seen earlier, the one time he asked for a raise, he was shot down and was happy about it. This demonstrates just how deeply the system has brainwashed him. SpongeBob is clearly the character that the audience is meant to like the most. He is happy, funny, and just all around likable. He also readily conforms to Mr. Krabs' imposed reality, which promotes the idea that confirmation is good, that you should put the interests of society, the system, or the upper class ahead of your own. This is meant to give the audience a positive feeling about confirmation.
I'm ready! The finest eating establishment ever established for eating.
Go, SpongeBob!
In contrast to SpongeBob, Bikini Bottom's grumpy green cephalopod remains very unamused by Mr. Krabs' hegemonic control. Although he performs his job as required, he's clearly not willingly partaking in Mr. Krabs' reality and would much prefer to be in his own. Squidward often falls asleep while working and treats customers poorly. He complains loudly and makes it very obvious that he'd much rather be doing something else. One time, when he quits the job that he hates so much, he's unable to find work and comes crawling back to the Krusty Krab. This demonstrates that, while he clearly sees what the system is trying to make him do, he is helpless to avoid it. Squidward comes off as mean-spirited and angry. However, he is only disgruntled with the shackles placed upon him by a reality he did not choose for himself. He is portrayed in a negative light simply for not wanting to conform.
Now let's see how Squidward prepares for his shift.
Hey, Squidward. Hey, Squidward.
Okay, I'll bite. What is it, SpongeBob?
Do you know what today is?
A noise Squidward Day?
Ah, no, silly. That's on the 15th.
Plankton provides another prime example of class divisions in Bikini Bottom. You can tell just by looking at him that he is inferior to Mr. Krabs. His diminutive size makes that very apparent. Nearly every failed plan in his never-ending quest to obtain the Krabby Patty secret formula is foiled due to his size. There are several occasions where Mr. Krabs simply steps on Plankton, squishing him. The other contrasts are obvious as well. Mr. Krabs' restaurant, the Krusty Krab, is wildly successful, while Plankton's, the Chum Bucket, is a horrible failure. Plankton is painted in an evil light, simply for rebelling against the system. This furthers the idea that all those who are not willing to conform do not belong. While Plankton is clearly a member of Bikini Bottom's lower class, he constantly and futilely rebels against the system, rarely losing heart.
Everyone will eat at the Chum Bucket, and I will rule the world! All hail Plankton! All hail Plankton!
I'm ready. Promotion. I'm ready. Promotion. Ooh, I think I stepped in something.
Not in something, on someone, you twit!
Oh, sorry, Plankton.
What's this? Drops of rain frozen into ice crystals? I shall harness their energy and rule the world! Oh, stop! I wish to rule you!
The social class divisions represented in SpongeBob demonstrate a similar principle within the American superstructure. Because, in a society, the upper class traditionally controls the culture, America's upper class chooses SpongeBob to be aired on television. Therefore, the Marxist ideals that the show is built on are the ones that they subconsciously want displayed within the American culture. This subconscious promotion of the idea that, no matter how hard they try, the lower classes cannot escape nor go against the will of the upper class, comes from the inherent greed that comes with being a hegemony-hungry member of the upper class. Although, on the surface, most identify with SpongeBob, since, after all, he is the protagonist, deep down many seek comfort by identifying with Mr. Krabs. This gives them a sense of power and control, one that they may not have in their everyday lives. Those who are real-life Mr. Krabses enjoy the social class reinforcement that the show provides, while those who are the SpongeBobs, Squidwards, and even Planktons of the world aspire to instead be a Mr. Krabs, rich, powerful, and completely in control. The show Spongebob Squarepants promotes the idea that to conform is to be happy. In society, lower classes are required to live by the reality imposed upon them by the upper class. As can be seen by the varying degrees of responses to this principle in the show, whether members of the lower class embrace this reality is irrelevant, so long as they do their jobs within it. In the cases of SpongeBob and Squidward, these jobs are to put Mr. Krabs' interests ahead of their own in order to increase his wealth at the expense of everything else.
Sounds like a lot of...
Hoopla!
Sounds like a lot of...
Hoopla!
Sounds like a...